Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really easy index card box in 3 different sizes, and it is perfect for holding index cards as well as little file folders, which I'm also going to be showing you how to make today. And those file folders are great not just to go in these index card boxes, but also for journals and planners and other things. And I'm going to be doing all of this out of the Victoria Designs Ephemera File Folder Project Pack. And that's the same pack I recently used in making that really easy planner. So there are so many things you can do with this pack. But for now, let's head on over to the craft table and get started. So here is a quick glimpse of what comes in the Ephemera File Folder Project Pack. And I just wanted you to get an idea of all of the beautiful things that are in it and an idea of the wonderful projects that you can do with this. And this is what we're going to be using today. This is for the index card box, and this is for the file folders that we're going to be making as well. As you saw, that pack is jam-packed full of stuff, but today we're just going to be looking at the index card holder and the little file folders. So this is the smallest size, and I'm going to be showing you more about this and telling you more about it as we go along. And I will show you that it perfectly holds index cards. So I really love this. That's a great little size. And now I'm going to show you the largest size. See if I can get this in here. And I'm actually not going to be using this as a index card holder or a file holder. But I dressed this one up with lace and ribbon and pearls, and I added little legs to it on the bottom. Are those just the cutest? Let me show you really quick what I used for those legs. These, you can pick these up at the dollar store. You could pick these up at Michael's. They could be used, like for little vases. You fill up your vase with it, or your fish bowls or whatever. But those made the perfect little legs for the bottom of this box. And later, I'll show you one of the ideas that I have for using this. But for right now, we're going to be making the medium-sized box. And by the way, before we go any further, let me show you that the boxes are the same size. I'll put them back to back. They're the same size this direction. So we'll go to the big box. The index cards fit perfectly in there. The only way that it changes is this direction. So you can see this is smaller. There's going to be a medium size and then a large size. So it just kind of gets deeper as you go along. So, talking about going along, let's move right along. Each box size comes either printed like this or not printed at all. So you can just print this out on any cardstock you want to use, or print it out and cut it out and use it as a template. And then there's one in between where it does a little bit of ink design, and I have something here with that on it that I'll show you in a minute. Actually, let me grab it right now. So I didn't use a solid color cardstock. This is a really awesome cardstock. And this is how it printed. So this right in here that you're seeing, that's just my cardstock. So whatever color it would have been, that's what you'd be seeing in there. So the only thing it printed was the outlines, and then this really cool distressed look to be on the edges, and of course that up there. So you have 3 different ways of doing this and some real ink savers. So this is really awesome, and they have those options for the boxes and for the file folders that we're going to be looking at in a few seconds. Well, actually a few minutes. So for this box, I just printed it out on craft cardstock. So I just used the one where, let me grab it here really quick. I just used the outline and did it on the craft cardstock. So saved a lot of ink that way. I know a lot of you worry about that. I really don't have an issue with printing. I don't have a
I don't think it's expensive for me. I guess it might just be my printer. But anyways, for an ink saver, just print it out on your favorite cardstock. And then I printed out all of the layers with the actual printed design. So I kind of used a little bit of both on this one. But on this one, I actually cut out all of the layers, both the main box and the layers, like this, and cut that out and used it for a template. And I think I printed it out on the pink, but for the layers, I just printed it out and cut it out and use these for templates to trace over the paper that I want to use. And that way I didn't use any ink. So that worked out really well. But now the one that we're going to do, we're actually going to do the one that has the ink on it. And let me grab the other part. The medium box is a little bit bigger, so it actually had to print out on 2 pages. And then, let me grab this. These are the layers, and I printed out 2 sheets of them. And you might ask why? Well, that's because I want to put these on the inside and outside both, not just the outside. So I printed out more. And I don't know if you can see that, but I printed these on a cream color cardstock. Let me grab a white one to show you the comparison here. Hold on. Okay, well, you can kind of see the difference here. This is white and that is a cream color. I actually have a lot of this, and I thought since I'm not actually printing on the back, another saver there, I'm using this kind of a cream color or ivory color because I think it helps with the vintage look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut out all of these pieces, and I'll be right back. Before I finish cutting this out, I just wanted to show you that if you just use your paper trimmer and trim along all the edges, the only thing left for you to cut out are these little tiny triangles. So that's not much fussy cutting at all. Okay, I've got my scoreboard here because we're going to be scoring on all of these lines. So all the lines are right there. No question about where to score. If you don't have a scoreboard, then you can fold on those lines. But basically, we're just going to line this up and score right down the line, okay? And I'm going to do that on all of these because I want this to go quick. So you guys know how to score. The lines are there. You just score on all of them. And with all the scoring done, it's time to fold. And I did not bring my bone folder over here with me, so I'm just going to use my fingers. But we're going to fold all the score lines in. So it's going to be real easy. And best to have your bone folder. Especially, I'm using 110-pound cardstock here, so it's really difficult to fold. And if you're worried about any of those lines showing that, that showed you where, they really don't show at all. But if you're worried about it, ink those areas, ink the edges, with some distress ink and just kind of go along the edges. I'd probably do that anyway, just because it'll give it a really nice distressed look. Okay, we've got all that together. Now, the next thing we need to do is we're going to use double-sided tape. You're going to want a 1/2 inch, and we're going to put it on each of these tabs on both sides. And I am going to do it the easy way. Instead of trying to do it on each one and tear each one, I am going to do it all the way across on both sides. And I'm not going to worry about this little bit that didn't get done, but you can always add more. If you want to add, if you had a 1/4 inch tape and you wanted to do that in in 2 rows there or something like that. Turn this over so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to cut that. And then I can see right here where those areas are, and we're just going to cut that tape out right there. And that just makes it so much easier putting this double-sided tape on. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, that's done, and it's time for the next step. As you can see, there's not a lot of pieces to this. This is like really easy to do. Victoria Designs has just taken all the challenge out of it and made it easy, and I really appreciate that. So here are our sides, and I want you to pay attention. Okay, see the long side fits right there, and the short side fits right there. So you know exactly how to do this. Just match it up, and this is where it goes. So we're just going to peel this off. Okay. And we're going to line this right up with the edge. Now, was that easy or what? Doesn't get much easier than that. Okay, let's turn it around. The same thing. So now it's the opposite way. You can just, oh yeah, same size. We'll flip it over. Or you can compare it that way. But it's really easy to figure out what side goes where. So with that done, we're going to take this, and again, we're going to line it right with that edge. There we go. That is so easy. So what's left to do? We are going to be bringing these sides in to create the side of the box. Okay, so again, we're just going to peel off the tape. Now I have a little excess tape up here, so I'm just going to roll that over with my finger first. And then I'm going to bring this side up. And be careful, because with double-sided tape, it can just grab. I really like using liquid glue, you know, wet glue, but I'm going to line that up. And I think I got it lined up just right. I'm really cautious when I do this, so I kind of take my time in hopes that I get it perfect the first time, especially with this double-sided tape. It's terrific tape, and there is no forgiveness. There is no, oh, let me take it apart and put it back together again. It just doesn't happen. So I'm going to line that right up. And there we go. We got one side of the box done already. Perfect. Beautiful. I love it. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'll be right back. So I've got all these pieces cut out, and I have been inking the edges with Distress ink. It's not focusing there, but there it is. Gathered Twigs is what I'm using. And these already have distressed inked edges. It really doesn't need it, but I like to do it to get rid of that white edge, or in this case, a cream colored edge. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I love doing that. It just helps everything blend together better, gives it a nice finished look. So I've got all of these inked now. And before I cut out my second set, because as I told you, I have a set for the inside and outside, I wanted to show you something. This is actually foolproof because it tells you that this is the 3-inch box, which is the middle size that we're doing. And it tells you, like, this is for the card for the back, these are for the sides, this is for the front. It tells you what each piece is for, so there's no guessing. Victoria Designs has taken the guesswork out of making this and putting it together. As you saw, this is so foolproof. So let me go cut those out, and we're going to start putting everything on the box. Okay, I'm going to be using my Beacon 3-in-1 glue. You can use whatever glue you like. I just like that this has enough wiggle room for me, you know, in case I don't get something on exactly straight. So I'm just going to add some glue around the edges here. And maybe a little bit in the middle. Okay. And then I'm just going to line this up on the front. like so. And when I'm done, I'm actually going to take my distress ink and go around all of the edges of this. There we go. Looks like I've got it on there close enough to straight. I hope straight. And you could just roll it over like this and, you know, stick your hand right here in the back to rub that down. All right, I'm going to put the rest of it on, and I'm going to speed this up while I'm doing it. Now, actually, I think it looks beautiful just the way it is, without me inking all of the edges. But, you know what? I'm in the mood to ink all of the edges, so let me speed this up. There we go. Looks better. Well, it doesn't look worse anyway. I like it. So the next thing is to put this label on the front. And the good news is, if you don't know what you want to put on it right now, it comes with this extra one that's kind of a, I don't know what you would call it. It's almost shadowed. And you can just put that on afterwards. So I'm just going to use some double-sided foam tape here because I just like the way that that looks. Yeah, I agree. We're going to call that good. Okay, so now you've seen how easy it is to make them. And this one is medium, we have small, and we have large. And I wish I could get the camera at a good angle, so I'll try to take some good pictures for you here in a little bit so that you can see the small, medium, and the large. And they are just awesome. And so many possibilities. I mean, you can do it with your own papers and just, you know, cut out the templates. You can do it with some of your own cardstock and then print out the layers, or you can print out, you know, everything. I didn't print on both sides of the paper, but you can do that just by using the paper provided. This digital paper, you just print this out on one side and then print out the other things on the other side. So many possibilities. But now, let's get on to something else I want to show you. There are file folders that you can make that will fit in these little cute little index card boxes. There are file folders, and they come in two different designs. There is that one and that one. So you can see that the difference here is this one has a little label spot, this one doesn't. The center is slightly different as well, or not the center, but the edges, because you're going to be cutting that right there. You'll see that here in a minute. And they come with the little tabs in the different positions, which is perfect. So you can have, you know, one side, the other side, the center. It is perfect. And again, you can print these on, you know, just a regular cardstock like this, or like the example I showed you before, you can print one side with this pretty paper and then have this on the other side. Or, hold on 1 minute here, let me grab this. Okay. Wait, I don't want to show you this piece yet. Hold on, I was going to show you one more. This one here, it has the design, but it doesn't cover in the middle. So that's another way that you can do this. It's kind of like an ink saver. So this way you're using your own cardstock and only printing the outline and the distressed edges. So there are so many ways to print these out, or you can just print it out as a template, just like I showed you with the other thing. Now I'll move on to this. So I took a piece of my 12 by 12 cardstock, or actually like scrapbook paper, and I cut it down to 8.5 by 11 so I can run it through my printer. And I don't know if you can see it because I did it on the dark purple side so that it wouldn't show up so much. But what I did was, here it is on white cardstock so you could see it. I took the same template for one of these, except that when I went into print, I chose the option where it has like 5 by 7s, so it'll print 2 5 by 7s on a page instead of the whole page. And then I chose these two images and I had it print out that way. So instead of taking up the whole page, I got 2 on one page. And I printed these out because I'm going to cut these out and use them for templates, but I also wanted you to be able to see it better because these are going to make cute little ones I'm going to show you later that will be great for journals or cards or just anything. They're going to be so cute and can be used on so many things. So there are so many ways that you can use these files, these printables. So many possibilities for these that it is just unbelievable. And you're sitting here thinking, why does she have so many printed out? Well, I wanted to show you, all of the differences. And not only that, but I'm going to be using some of these on, well, not on, but in a journal that I'm going to be making with this kit later. I am not sure when, but you can be watching for it in my videos. So what I'm going to go do right now is I'm going to go cut some of these out so you can see what they look like. So I'll be right back. I didn't cut them all out, but I cut out some. So these were on one page. And then these are just 2 of the 4 that were on one page. And it's really simple. We are just going to, wow, I almost lost this. We're just going to score it down the center. So this is 4 inches. So I'm going to score this at 2 inches. And let's see if I scored good here. There we go. I'm going to turn this one over and do it this way. That way I have one going one way and one going the other way, which is kind of cute, actually, because they kind of match that way. So we've got 2 cute little adorable file folders that we could use on a card or in I don't know, in a journal, in a cute little journal pocket. There's so many. I just think the little ones are so cute. And it's just as simple as putting, 2 sets on a page instead of 1. So let's do this now. Let's get this in here and get this scored. We'll get that scored right down that line right there. And again, I'm using 110-pound cardstock, so this stuff is really hard to do. But there we go. We have our little file folder. And let's see. Look at that. Isn't that the coolest ever? Oh my gosh, can you just picture this full of these? And then you can have all kinds of goodies in there. And you know what else they have for these? Which I didn't show you, but it's in there. There is little pockets that can go in these as well. It's kind of amazing all the things that are in this project kit. But I'm just loving it. What do you think? So, tell you what I think. I think I'm going to do a couple of things here really quick just to show you some possibilities because I really am not crazy about the straight edges. So I've got my little, get that straight there. Got my little corner rounder. Yeah, get it the right way, Janie. I'm going to stick it right in there and I'm going to round all of the corners. And What do you think? I like that look better, the rounded corners. They kind of match these rounded corners right up here. And then, you know, you just kind of go around and ink all of the edges. Give it that nice finished look. Oh yeah. Perfect. Just perfect. So we have these cute little index card boxes that are perfect for these little file folders. And this is just one of the things that you can do with the ephemera file folder project kit. You're just going to have to check it all out yourself. I'll have a link below in the description box where you can go get a better look at it. Before I go, if you were wondering where I got this really cool cardstock from, you can get that at Michael's, and it actually comes in these different colors. And this is nice if you want to use the ink saver images, you know, so you don't have to use up all of your ink, or maybe you're out of ink at the moment. But to be honest with you, if you have the ink and want to do it, I prefer this. I prefer the paper that comes in that kit that you can just print out yourself. But I know that sometimes we don't have much ink and we need to use the ink saver mode, and so that's where something like this would come in really handy.
Here are views of all three boxes, and they can be used in so many ways, whether it is on your desk, or for recipes, or for keeping your embellishments or cards sorted in. I'm sure you'll find something that works for you. And of course, like I did here, you can always decorate them to your taste and your style. Thank you all for watching today, and I really hope you check out that pack. I'll have a link below in the description box because there are so many things that you can do with that. Planners and journals and index card boxes that you can use for recipe card boxes. Um, just so many things you can do. That kit is just full of endless ideas. And also, don't forget to check out Crafter's Castle Challenge. I'm going to put a link below in the description box to that as well. And thank you all for watching. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.